This video is about how to go from Krakow, Poland to the Wieliczka Salt Mines for the tour. So this map shows the Krakow Glowny Train Station, the main train station, and a little below that is Krakow Old Town, so that's the center of the city. And you can see the Wieliczka Salt Mines is about 9 miles or 15 kilometers southeast from Krakow. So looking at this satellite map of the actual town where the Wieliczka Salt Mine is, you see at the bottom of the screen the train station. It's called Wieliczka Rynek Kopalnia. And on the upper right hand corner is the entrance to the salt mine. However, on the left hand side, the upper left, is where the salt mine exits. So going there is a little confusing because when you exit out of there, you don't know where you are. And I didn't see any warning about that we're going to exit out someplace completely different from where we started. So that's one of the little confusions going to this tour here. Here is the ticket booth at the Krakow Glowny Train Station. You can buy a ticket here or in the electronic ticket booths, and the price is 4 zlotys, which is like $1.10. So just buy your ticket, look up at the board to see what track your train is leaving on, and go upstairs and get your train. The trains come about every half an hour, and the train ride to the salt mines is about 20 minutes. The good thing about this train ride is that the salt mine stop is the last stop on this line, so it's very hard to get it wrong because the train stops here, doesn't go any further, and everybody gets off. So when you get off, you head up through this parking lot, and if you want to look at the satellite map from the beginning of this video, you'll see that you walk in the same direction as the way the map is. This is actually flipped upside down because the train station is north of the salt mine entrance, so I flipped it over so that your point of view is actually the same as the direction that you're walking in. So there's actually 2 tours here at the salt mines, and that's where it gets a little confusing if you don't know ahead of time which one to go to. One is the Regis shaft and one is the Danilowicz shaft. And the sign is in Polish, so instead of shaft it says SZYB, so Regis Zib or Zib Regis and Zib Danilowicz. The Regis shaft is the miners tour, where you dress up like a miner and do some kind of mining over there, so it's a real hands-on thing. The other tour is the tourist tour, where the majority of the people go. That's the tour that has the salt sculptures, the salt chandeliers, and the guided tour in different languages. So that's the tour that the majority of the people go to, the Danilowicz tour. So you'll see the sign across the street, the brown and white sign. It doesn't actually say tourist tour or miners tour. It just says Regis and Danilowicz. So to the right and then immediately left up that street is where the tourist tour is. So you just head right up this street and it will be on the right hand side, the entrance to the Danilowicz tour, which is the tourist tour, which is the tour that the majority of the people go to. Something like 43 million people go to this tour. I don't know how many people go to the miners tour, but that is the difference between the two of them. Here is the exit to the tourist tour, and like I mentioned, it's in a completely different area than where you enter the tourist tour. And so you pop out in this little town here. Looks pretty cool. There's some restaurants and things around here. You can grab a bite to eat. But if you didn't know you were exiting here, you'd be kind of lost like I was. So if you just follow the map I put up, you can get back to the train station pretty easily. I just want to talk about the actual tour itself now instead of how to get there or whatever. I highly recommend this tour. It was really something to see, really amazing what they could do with salt, the rooms that they built, the characters, the statues, the chandeliers, all that stuff is pretty amazing what they did there. And the tour guides are really great. I don't know if it was just because I had a really great tour guide or they're all really top notch, but I would guess that they're all pretty good. The one that I had really knew everything about this salt mine. I mean, I was pretty curious about some things, and so I asked him on the side my questions, and he was able to answer all of them. I mean, nothing stumped him. He knew the answers to all kinds of weird stuff I asked him. I actually have a video of some of it, so I'm gonna post a video of that also next. I also the prices for the salt mine. Um, there's a lot of different factors in the prices. So one is obviously high season, low season, and so the high season price is from April 28th to May 6th and July 1st to August 31st. And there's also two different prices for Polish people and for foreign people. So you have regular price, the discounted price, which is for students up to 26 years old or kids under 4 years old. And then you have a family price, which is a price for 4 people, which they define as 2 adults and 2 kids between 4 and 16 years old. So the regular price for Polish people is 64 zlotys, or about $18. The discounted price is 46 zlotys, or $13. And the family price is 174 zlotys, or $48 during the high season. For foreigners, the regular price is 94 zlotys, or $26. The discounted price is 74 zlotys, or $21, and the family price is 262 zlotys, or $73. So just comparing the regular price between Polish and foreign, it's like the difference between $18 and $26. So it's like an $8 difference in price. For the Polish people, it's a little cheaper. One thing to know about this, you can book these tickets online. However, they do not let you book 3 days in advance or less. So you have to book out at least 3 days in advance. So this could be kind of not really a good thing, because if you're visiting Krakow, you might want to come to the salt mines maybe on a down day if it's going to be cold or it's going to be rainy or something. And so if you book these tickets before you come out here for a certain day, you're stuck visiting on that exact day. Okay, so that, keep that in mind. The other thing is the language tours. You have to take this tour with a guide provided by the salt mine, of course, okay? And they have different languages that the tours are in. I think the languages are Polish, English, French, German, Russian, Italian, and Spanish. I think that's all of them. Anyway, there's a limited number of tours per day in those languages. Of course, the less common the language or the less common the visitor's language, the less tours there are. So, example, Italian, there's only 2 tours a day in Italian, okay, and maybe 3 tours a day in French or German or something like that, while there's multiple tours a day in English. Okay, and on top of that, there's only so many people that can be in a tour group at a certain time, because you have to go through um, these shafts that are locked. The doors have to be closed on both sides because of the air pressure. So there's a limited number of people per tour. I forget how many it is, but it's something like 20 people or so. So you can only book online if there's people left in the tour. In other words, the tours could sell out. So if you want a special language that's not very popular, you want to book ahead of time to make sure that you get in on that tour. Otherwise, if you show up there just any time, you may or may not be able to get into the tour of the language that you want. So keep that in mind. There are also tour operators that bring you to the salt mines. I looked at some packages, they're about $45. And so they're about $15 more expensive than you would pay to come by train and pay for your own ticket if you're a foreigner. So is it worth it? I don't know. They pick you up at your hotel. Maybe they pick you up in a nice Sprinter van or a nicer car or something. So it may be worth it for some people. Other people may just want to save the money and take the train ride because it's very easy anyway. So here I am at the train station. I'm about to head back to Krakow Glowny Train Station. And so that's about it. I hope you found this video helpful, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, or subscribe, and keep an eye out for my next videos. Thank you.